Hello everyone and welcome back to another Unreal Engine tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to learn how to create AAA pickup animation similar to the ones in Fortnite. So this is what we're going to create. Okay, let's get started. Open up the content drawer and let's create a new blueprint. Blueprint actor. And let's name this actor Pickup Animated AAA. So double click to open it up. Let's add a new component. Let's type sphere. And let's name this Pickup_SM for static mesh. Let's make it as a root, so click and drag. And compile and save. Now let's add another component. So type IntertoMovement. So this component allows us to move this actor from point A to point B or anywhere you want based on these control points. So we're going to use this IntertoMovement in the construction script. So click and drag this component and let's type add control point position. So this is going to be the starting point. So we're going to go from wherever this actor is to another position. So select this and Ctrl D to duplicate. And we have to connect with this. So we're going to go from point 0 to anywhere you want based on these parameters here. So I want when you touch this actor to go first up, maybe something like 250 units. So let's compile and save. Now we want to add a time between. So how fast we want this actor to go up. Let's make a space between this. So from here you can double click on this node and you can type set duration. So when you select this IntertoMovement, we are accessing this here through this variable. So we want this to go very quickly up. So let's put something like 0.1 and I will tell you now why in a second. So very important thing, so I have to select this movement and auto activate, we want to disable. So we want to reactivate when you want with a code. So uncheck this, compile and save. Now let's go back to the event graph. Now let's select this Pickup SM and type collision. Now open the collision presets, go to custom. So we want to block everything, but we want to overlap the pawn, which is our player, and we want to ignore the visibility and the camera, because I don't want our camera to clip with this actor. Okay, so compile and save. Now back to the event graph. Let's delete all these nodes. We don't need them. Now select this Pickup SM and go all the way down. And we need on begin overlap. So from here, instead of casting, cast to third person character. So don't use this. Instead, we can drag a pin and type equals. And let's get the player character. Now we are checking if this actor is overlapping with our player character. And that's it, we don't have to cast. Let's call a branch. Now we want to trigger this only once, because we don't want to trigger multiple overlaps. So right click and type do once. And now we want to activate this from the construction script. So we want when you touch this actor to go from wherever it is in the world in 0.1 seconds to reach this height on the z-axis. Now get the IntertoMovement and drag a pin and type activate. So we need this activate. So don't check this reset, this is for something else. And now we are activating this from the construction script. Because if you remember, now default IntertoMovement is disabled. And now when you are touching it, we are activating it. Now let's right click and type custom event. And type pickup item. Drag a pin and type timer. So we're going to use timer. You don't want to use the delay node. This is bad for performance. I have a whole tutorial for it. Instead, we're using timers. So delete this bad guy. And let's put this over here. Now let's put here 0.15 and I will tell you now why. Now we are activating the movement from 0.0 to 250 in the air, in the z-axis. 0.15 seconds, we are going to pull it back towards our player. Now, instead of creating variable for clearing the timer, we are going to drag a pin and type clear. So clear an invalid timer by handle. We are going to clear it immediately. And then let's create another custom event. And let's type animate towards player. Now, because the code is going to be a bit big, it's going to be over here. Instead, to be more readable, we're going to start programming from here. And simply we're going to get this custom event and plug it over here. So animate towards player. So get this custom event and it's going to execute here. So if you double click, now let's create a timeline and type animate pickup timeline. Open it up. So for the length, let's put it here 1 second. Now let's add a track of float. So type pickup alpha and hold down left shift and left click. So this is a keyframe. Time is going to be 0 and value is going to be 0. Now let's right click and create another one. This is going to be time of 1 and value of 1. So this time over here and the length has to match. So this is 1, this one has to be 1. So if you click these buttons here, we're going to see the whole timeline. So compile and save and we're done here. We can close it now. And let's plug this in a play. Now let's drag a pin from the pickup alpha and type lerp. And we are going to use lab vector because we are going to use the location. Now let's get the pickup SM, set world location, and we're gonna plug this in. So this is going to be from the lerp, but we have to do something else in the A and B. Now from this, let's drag a pin and type get world location. So when you touch this actor, for a reminder, we're going to make this actor to go up, and in 0.15 seconds, we're going to pull that actor towards us. So this timeline is going to help us get this actor. So in the world location, it's going to be from A to get the player character and get the actor's location, which is us, our player. So get actor location. It's going to be in the B. Now let's see if this is gonna work. So this is the actor. Now I'm gonna play the game. Okay, that's working. Now we have to do something else. Since we know this is working, now let's put this in a function. So I'm going to detach this and copy this, the same node. And I will get all these nodes. And let's right click and collapse to function. Now let's open the function. Let's tidy this mess a bit. Okay, so I can use this the same. I'm gonna delete this. Okay, now let's see if this is working still with a function, because sometimes it can be buggy. Okay, back to the code. Now let's rename this function. Over here, let's type it moving towards player. Okay, now let's do something when we reach the end. So from the finish, you can drag a pin. I can type destroy actor. Now when the actor comes into our body, it's going to be destroyed. Okay, now it takes a little bit of time because we have to do something else. Now let's right click and type event begin play. Now let's create two variables. We need vector. And let's name this actor start location. And the other one is going to be actor start scale. Now let's right click and get actor location. Now let's set the actor's location to this variable. And also let's get actor scale. So get actor scale 3D. And let's get this variable. We're going to set it. Now let's shrink this actor when you are picking up. So from this alpha, from the timeline, we can also type lerp vector. So actor start scale, let's get this variable. From its own original size, we're going to shrink it down back to 0. And from here, actor scale 3D. And we're going to connect with this. Compile and save. Now let's see if it's working. Now let's make it a bit faster. So the way to do that is to increase the timeline speed. So if you open up these components, you have animate pickup timeline. Drag and drop, and let's get it. And you can type set play rate. And let's connect it like this. So this is going to increase the timeline speed. So 1 is going to be the normal speed, whatever is inside. But if you increase this number, maybe 3, it's going to go 3 times faster. Now let's try it out. Okay, perfect. Now let's also make this in a function. So only the scale, right click and collapse to function. And type actor scaling down. Now if you want the actor to go further up, you can play with these values here. But to add some more variety, we can right click and split stack pin. And let's add a randomizer from X and Y. So drag a pin and type random floating range. Random floating range. So I want to go minus 200 and maximum 200 on the X and the Y and 250 up. So connect this to the Y. So that means every time when you're picking this actor, it's going to go 250 units up, and random is going to be between minus 200, so left, or 200 right, like this. Now let's make some more copies to see how it's going to be. Let's try one more time from top. See, sometimes left, sometimes right. So it looks more fun. It doesn't go always up and down straight. Now let's add some visual effects. I'll put this back. So when the timeline finishes, before destroying this actor, let's add something else. So let's right click and emitter attached. Let's make some more space here. We're going to put this in a function anyway. So for now, let's do it like this. And we need to attach this visual effects to our player's body. So right click and get player character. And we need to get the mesh. So get mesh. So attached to component is going to be mesh, and attached point name is going to be pelvis. So this is our player character skeleton. So we have pelvis, head, and so on. Now for location type, let's go snap to target, keep world scale. Now select these nodes and right click, collapse to function, and type pickup collected. And now the nodes are looking much better. Let's open this up. So to add easily visual effects, we can get this emitter and plug it over here. Select this input and you can type here VFX. And also we can right click and type sound 2D. So also we are adding sound when you are collecting this actor. So get this sound and plug it here. And here type SFX for sound effects. Now when you go back to the graph, we have these inputs here. Now let's open up the content drawer and let's find some visual effects and sound effects. I have many assets here, so I'm gonna choose some of these. So when you select here, and when you click this arrow, it's going to assign. Now let's see if it's working. Okay, it's a bit too big. If you go back, so the scale, let's put it something like 0.2. Let's try again. Okay, maybe 0.3. Let's compile and save and try again. And also we can add some sound. I'm going to add this special power 15. Now let's see how it's going to be. Okay, perfect. Now if you want to add more variety, go to the viewport. Now let's add a component and type particle. So particle system. And let's name this pickup underscore particle. Let's find some assets here. I'm going to use something from the Paragon minions. I like this orb here, so I'm gonna add it here. Now if you don't see it, it's because this mesh is covering. So select the mesh and let's put something like invisible material. And now we see only the visual effects. Now let's see how this is gonna look. Or if you want, you can add something else. In the blueprint, let's delete this for now. And if you go to the level, now we don't see it because we did invisible material. Now let's put it back as it was. So you can select individually each of these. So select it. And over here you can add specifically. So let's put particle. And now if you select this mesh, let's put invisible here. And now we have this. Now I can select this one. So select this and open the content drawer. Let's open the materials. You can add a specific material to anything you want. Okay, the shaders needs to compile so you can see the materials. So let's select this one and let's add something else. So I'm putting the invisible material to the mesh. And I added these particle effects. Now when I play the game, I have all these different things. And also if you have added over here some components, you can also delete them. So select the pickup and let's see what else do we have. You can also change the mesh. So I'm going to open the static mesh filter. And I have this fruit pack. So let's say I want to use something like this pumpkin. And I will add it over here. And I'm gonna revert this material. And now I have all these different things. Okay, the possibilities are endless. This is just to showcase what you can do with this and how you can customize it. Okay, this is going to be it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.